Yes, carefully. Let me tell you something. Pay attention to this because this is going to blow your mind. Do you know that most scams, this word called scam, does not originate from Africa? Do you know that this word scam is not reality, that it is just used? People just come to clean money? Yes, this is now me, Ben, talking to you out of experience because of my interactions with people here. You see, the more I sit on this chair, the more I learn because 90% of the people I meet who come to my office, they're not Ugandans. Nope. 90% of them are foreigners. And as they come here, we have interactions. Now, mark me not wrong. Not everyone, not all those who come here, the intention is to come to scam. No. Most of them have genuine intentions, and indeed some come and do their business properly and they go. Others come and they get cheated genuinely. Cheated genuinely or cheated? Okay, you just cheated in reality. But some come and allow themselves to get cheated intentionally because they have an agenda to clean money, agenda to file for bankruptcy, agenda to tell whoever they are dealing with that side that they have lost money and this and that. Unfortunately, the indigenous people in Uganda, Africa have no idea. That is the importance of opening up a company like this to the public because we get to learn and know a lot. Now, let me tell you something that surprises you. There are more scammers that are so-called buyers than these so-called who are sellers. Do you know why most times when you hear about these scam stories, you find that the seller, he says a Congolese somewhere. If it happens in Kenya, you'll find it is someone from another nation. It's not the Kenyans, the indigenous who do the seller will be Congo, this and that. Now, and so also the so-called buyers understand how easy our market is to clean money. This is out of experience. I repeat, this is the gospel according to Mr. Ben, not anybody, not EuroGold. No, this is me, my personal experience, not EuroGold as a company. No, my personal experience in my ventures of this industry. I've moved, I've interacted, I've traded in this business for a while. So let me explain you how. Thank you very much. That was a good point. How? Now, these people know very well how gold trade is. Remember, every time I show you on my phone, when I show you the rate or the price of gold, the whole world knows how much gold is, right? And they know that cheaper gold can be found in Africa. True. Now, there is what they call triangle. That's the word they use. A triangle is where it is a setting. They call it a syndicate. He knows well that he's going to come to Africa. He will choose a place. That's something they say it's maybe any country in Africa that deals in this trade. And where they know that they can easily manipulate the media and the security. How do they do it? Because the security themselves lack knowledge on themselves, these people who are coming to purchase or buy gold. They look at these people as investors. And so, anyone who comes to do stealing in a country says, this is an investor. And you see this person is treated so well and protected. Of course, we need to protect foreigners who come to trade in the country. But hear my word, my personal experience. I have experiences, proofs of people who come here and meet with me and discuss. And then at the end of the day, you find stories have happened after. I've been sitting with people holding hands, taking photos here, thinking I've met with the investor, A or B, or businessman who has come to do business. Later on, I'll get calls from them and say, this person here, you need to be careful, ABCD. Like, what? How possible is that? I've had scenarios where my name has been used for people to extort money in Europe, in Western world, in Korea, in many other countries. Not once, not twice, numerous times. And they are quite different methods that have been done. So, as being somebody who a researcher, I did my conclusion. After studying everything, I found out that almost 70% of all the scams is organized, but not from Africa. Not by these so-called sellers. These whites know where to go. They have contacts. They know whom to contact. They start right from out there. The trading space for gold, in particular now, let's say it is in Dubai. Many have access to that side. So what they do, they look at Africa where they know they can easily come and trade the business and clean the gold. Let me give you the first example. He will intentionally get money from his company or from his friends or from his relatives or from wherever he's going to pick money from or from his own company as big as possible. Then he will come to Africa, let's say in Ghana, Kenya, Uganda. These are one of the common places they use. And when he comes there, he comes as an investor, as a saint, knowing where to go, and there is already the communication in the background going on. Then he comes and avails himself to the so-called sellers or who are scammers. And then they go ahead and sit on a table and discuss business. They call it business. After discussing these things, so they are going to discuss what? Business. Of course, the business is gold trade. So you see, this person will be so fast because they know everything. They know everything. Let me tell you, for a white man to leave his country to come to another country, they first research. They know how to Google. They know how to use ChatGPT. They know everything about business. So they come knowing well that they are going to lose something. And therefore, you see, the guy will just come and play cool and like, okay, let's do this, let's do this, and that's okay. This is. But how would you know that he's just coming to play? There are some few signs that I'm going to share with you that will help you today. But this is for the betterment, for people who are in the authorities to know what to do when someone rushed to the story of a scam. You don't just be on a rush to conclude. You need to analyze to know, is this true or not? Sometimes you need to do background checkup of this person first before you go to what? To conclude. So, this is what happens. He comes in, puts up a quantity which is very big. Most times you hear millions of dollars. And the person will say, okay, this should be done, this should be done. Of course, they will have their discussions. But in conclusion, he will only allow himself intentionally to lose 10% or 7% of the total amount of money that he got from wherever he's coming from. For example, if he got like $10 million, oh, big, whatever $1 million from there, just believe me, these people will always intentionally allow themselves to lose between 5 to 10%. Of course, a person from this country, wherever it is, excited, he thinks that he has cheated the Muzungu. My idea, you have not cheated the Muzungu. The Muzungu has cheated you. And asked me how. Because at the end of the day, it's the name of the country that gets spoiled. It's the business that gets spoiled. Okay? For them, they have already cleaned up their money and they are back to a new life. So, this is what happens. He allows in and intentionally, to know it, they don't pay for gold. Go and check the records of all the so-called scams that has happened across Africa. Any country, I can bet that and ask, out of 10 or out of 100 cases, let the authority or police, wherever the authorities, produce you that these people paid for the gold. You find out. you will find out that they don't pay for the gold. Others don't even pay for a gram. Then you ask him, how did you lose this money? He paid for transport, he pays for logistics, he paid for bribing, he pays for this and that. These are the monies they spent. And then at the end of the day, he intentionally knows that whatever he came with, he has to only lose 5 to 7 or 10% of the total amount. And therefore, the issue blows out. This is where the point is. They have 3 things they consider. When they come, because they know that they have some money, they're going to use to pay. They get access to people on the ground to pay for media. They make sure they take photos, videos of the gold. Of course, these people are smart. They have gold. Gold is there. Turn, yes, they will see. You will see, you will test it, it will be there. But what they're after is to have access to videos. That's what they call it, POP, proof of product. They send the photos of the gold, what. He is documenting, and then he sends it to his people abroad. After that, of course, his people will be happy to see so big volumes of gold, nuggets all over, and then they will send him that money. When that money is sent to him, he will not pay for the gold. He will go for what they call something called CIF, where you don't pay for the gold, you only pay for transport, this and that. So, you also can prove me wrong. Go to any office, any facility of a police where normally issues to do with related with gold is handled. Find out how many of these investors who come in who complain of losing money, how much or how many kilograms they pay in cash. Out of 10%, there might be only 0.05 or less. Out of 100 people, there may only be one person who genuinely paid for gold, but the rest don't pay. They know what they are doing. They are not foolish. It is now the people here who think they are wise when they are not. So, this is the reality. So, what they do, it's not easy. It's not easy. So, what they do is to make sure that they have documentations to show to his people that, yes, I found the gold. They take the photos, they take the videos, they do everything, they send in there. Yes, can you give me a receipt? Can you give me? They make sure they collect some receipt. And finally, when they lose that money, because of course, sometimes this gold is not ready for that trade. People use them as the same word scam because it do not leave the country. It has to rotate left and right, this and that. Not all. These ones who specifically come for this kind of business are always enjoy to dine with these boys in the ground who are willing to bring them gold to show them. They even sometimes themselves are the one who create you be a seller, be this and that. I'm going to take a photos, I'm going to do. They do it, they say it. People have come to me and they tell me, Ben, we just need from you as a report. Just make for us as a report. Just take for us photo of this, and then you send us. And they know from there they're going to take money from what? From friends, from companies, from relatives, and so forth. So, who has cheated who here? Is it the so-called investor who has come to invest and has lost 5% or 10% and has pocketed 90% for himself, or it is the one who is in the ground here who is the one who cheated, who is a scam? So you will find out that the real scammer is not these ones who run around. The real scammer is this main who is the investor. So to me, this is to any person, concerned person who thinks he can have influence to talk to somebody related to anything to do with gold trading in Africa, not just Uganda. Please go slow when it comes to rushing to publish issues to do with gold. Because these days the world is on the net. The world is on internet. Everything goes faster. Surprisingly, they have budgets. This is for this is for security. Not these ones. They know they look for people who are big, who can be able to make noise or who can say something. They go and process the Muzungu. They want to process a person. And also they make sure they look for where the media, someone who has influence can be. And they go and give this person something. And they make sure that case should go to what? The police station. So that they can get a reference. When they get a reference from the police station, and then they also have backup from the media, and then these photos will be taken, then they send there. They have cleaned themselves. And it will be showing clear that they have lost money. It will be showing clear that they did the transactions, and surely he was cheated. But it is not 100%. It is only 5% or 10%. So who was cheated? Who here? I know this is very hard for somebody to swallow, but this is the reality of the ground. Some of us sit here, we get to know a lot because 90% of my customers, 90%, they're not Ugandans. They are foreigners. And out of the 90%, half of them are genuine, half are not. That's a reality. So I know what I'm speaking is going to affect me a lot. I know. But I must first save the country. I have to save the country. Please, media, don't rush into what you don't know. In fact, it would have been much better to first find out the case, wherever it is reported. Go to the right authorities. For example, for us in minerals, there's PMPU, right? Mineral Protection Unit. First go there and check properly before someone tells you something on the road or in a restaurant and gives you 50 or $30,000, $50,000, and you rush to spread it out. You are not saving the country. You are spoiling the image of the country. Let there be first an investigation, then let the response, let the result be the one to tell the truth. You understand? It is very, very painful because me who sits here knows it much that almost 60% of cases that are reported is intentional. The person just wants validity to validate what he has done wrong. And of course, as a security personnel, he has to take responsibility. That is his role, which I accept and I agree. They need to do it, to investigate and to give out the what? To hand over to court or to things to be done. But before even the information can go, you find someone has gone on the media, has taken things out. I love how other organs, security organs operating. They investigate and then they publish. Perfect. But to you who has the power for social media, who has the power, let us protect our country. Let me tell you something. I had issues and challenges where I was cheated, as me, Ben, on this chair. And clients came to, of course, I handed them the product of a fellow friend, and they went, and that is it. You don't find the news anywhere. Not once, not once. These big places where gold are traded outside Africa, they are so careful about the image. Very careful. Very, very careful. So let's not spoil, because now someone has to search about Uganda. When he puts the word gold, whatever that will come out may be a mess. But if you go to the root of it, these people come and do it intentionally. And because you're looking for cheap money and someone has just bribed you with small money, you rush and publish it. You spoil the image of the country. First, find out this person. Is he legit? Now, this one takes me to compliance. As a gold trader, do you think someone who has $1 million and above is naive? That a Muzungu, a white man, or an Indian, or any original descent, who is over millions of dollars worth, you think he is naive and stupid, that he just comes and loses like that? Hey, wake up. He is not stupid. These educated people, And surprisingly, you look at those whom the so-called that they are the ones who have cheated. Whenever they are got arrested, they even have not reached near 4. Others that don't even know English. And they say, this is the one who took the money. Yes, it is that painful. That's why I'm speaking with the real myself. But now let me give you some signs and symptoms to know that these so-called investors are not investors as you people may think. These are the signs I'm seeing, symptoms of them. One, they come mostly on tourist visa. Intentionally, they don't come with business visa. How can you come and spend millions and millions of dollars and you're coming to do gold trade in Africa? You cannot afford to get a business visa which cannot cost even $1,000. Logic. Let's use logic here. Two, most of them don't go to the ministry or they don't go to legit licensed companies. Not that they don't know. They do it intentionally so that they can validate the criminality or whatever they are intending to come and do. So they don't go to geology. They cannot go to like a refinery like this. Nope. They make sure they go to where there is this small, not even just houses that are, they put some, they even just the actual houses. They go to apartments, hotels, and that's where the transactions are done. Sometimes even on the road. And another sign to know is they deal with the people who always only use WhatsApp. If you call their phone direct, it doesn't go through. Intentionally, so that they don't want to waste more time on investigations. Or unlicensed officers, briefcase officers. You ask, where did you meet with this man? Oh, we met online. So you sent him the money just the way yes, I sent him money. He asked this, I sent him this. He asked this, I sent him this. So the person who here creates a different identity, he is not the one on the image. When you check the list files, they even sometimes don't meet physically. Everything is done on WhatsApp, on phone. That we use WhatsApp, we use this and that. They will come and meet. Some meet physically, others don't. Those are some signs to know this person knows what he's doing. He just acts naive intentionally. Another thing is sign of to know that he is one of them is you'll always hear from him when you're conversing that I was cheated in Ghana, then I was cheated in Kenya, then I was cheated in this country, and I was cheated in South Africa. Now I'm here in Kampala. I hope things will be. Once you hear someone says I was previously cheated, how can you be cheated thousands, hundreds, thousands of dollars, and you go back to do it again, and then they cheat you, and then you go back to do it again? No way. He knows what he is doing, but they play low key intentionally. Another one is to know they always come and look for big boys, people to connect with, big people who in authority. Instead of going to real gold trade offices, they go and look for big people, align themselves looking for, do you know a general in this country? Do you know this in this country? They want to align themselves with people who have what? Positions. Because they know what they are coming to do. And mostly, they don't buy, as I've told you. Those are signs. They don't pay gold in cash. Listen to me carefully. Do you know that every mining site in the world, there are ready buyers there? Are you aware that every mining site, even if you go deep in Karamoja, deep there in the village, I assure you, there are people who are ready with money to buy. So you find them, they will come and keep in hotels. Big hotels, of course. And he can stay there for months and months. You change one hotel to another hotel, rotating in the same circle. The same. People, let's not be fooled. Let's not be fooled. Of course, they don't get licenses. Who does not know to trade in gold? You must have a $1 million license, which is only 10 million Ugandan shillings. When you come to a country, you must get a business visa. You must have a $1 million license. You must have at least an office that is trading in gold. That is why those who have access to someone who has ever lost money in this area, who is not genuine, you will find that their business will say that it was from Congo, and then we went to this country. From this country, the gold went this. Just know that person is, they are trading their ways of making money. So between me and you, is it the one who is small here with maybe within Africa, who comes and presents and is collecting money for storage, because that's what they get: money for storage, money for paperwork, money for this and that? Or it is this one, and maybe it's 5%. It is this one who has brought in the country money from companies, banks, institutions, friends, relatives, family, and squanders 90%. Who is a real scammer here? Now, this one goes to the media. Please, I'm meaning even individuals. Let's not rush to conclude. Let's research first before we go to a conclusion. And secondly, let's protect the image of our country. Because particularly me here in Uganda is so blessed so much with wealth. But still, there are genuine investors who will want to come and invest. But when they go and research and they will find this nonsense on the internet, of course they'll say, no, that's not the right place to invest in. Yet there are genuine mining sites, genuine explorations that are around, genuine, enough mineral resources in Africa, particularly in Africa, and even in Uganda here, where people will come and invest genuinely. But because of these ones who run up quick and tries to sabotage the whole image and frustrate the effort of the country in development, they are the ones who hinder genuine investors from investing in Africa. So this goes to everybody, that let's take it upon ourselves to make sure that we eradicate this kind of problems in a rightful way. That's why when they come to ask you, do you have a license for operating? If you don't have, I'm not working with you. That's what I do. I'm like, okay, if you don't have, become an account holder with me. Why? You'll give me your KYC. I need to know who you are, what you do, everything. I need to know your company. That's when I can enlist you in EuroGold Refinery. That's why it is hard for them to come. They come and go, of course. But does it mean everybody? No. As I mentioned, 60% that are there, around half. Half of them are good, half of them are not good. I rather choose to work with the few, or the half that are good, that is going to make this company grow to where it's supposed to be. I know today this message is going to mess a few things out, but I have to do it for the beauty and salvation of our country. Now, something I want you to know today. The question now here is, who is who? So these people think, we've cheated. What? We've cheated a white man. They have cheated you. These people come here, get documents, proofs from the police, proof from here that they lost money. You know what they do? Those in USA and Europe, they file for bankruptcy. After filing for bankruptcy, meaning they no longer can pay taxes. I lost my money in Africa. I lost my money in Uganda. This and that. I lost all the money. And they show this. Because it's very easy to get documents from here. Easy, anybody can give you. That's the issue. That's why we're very careful when it comes to issuing out asset report. Very careful. Yeah, as EuroGold Refinery. And others just come to clean money. Of course, after picking money from there, and they've come here with it, and they've only spent 5% or 10%. Where did the rest go? Now, how do you know? Most times they leave the country they're in, they transfer themselves and go and buy properties in other countries and they start a new life. This is to you, brothers and sisters, and even to those of you who have no idea. This is how these things are being done. It's unfortunate, but I am encouraging you that's why I had to bring it out. So that when there's any trade, it has to be authentic. In conclusion, what's the best way of gold trade? It is cash. Cash. People, as I mentioned to you before, gold is not just there to be given cheaply. In fact, these people, if you want to know that, they're also one of them. They always want to buy gold half a price. Now today, gold is $130 something thousand dollars, 1 kilogram. He will tell you, for me, I'm buying it at the 50 or 60. Of course, what do you expect from someone who is in Africa? Like, okay, a gold is 120,000 1 kilogram, and for you want to buy it at the 50 or 60,000 1 kg. Oh, I'll give you. Yeah. Of course, they end up in what? Into a mess or into a scam. So, how to know is they always don't want to pay for the gold, but the right solution is to buy in cash. If you want to know someone is genuine, they buy in cash. He comes, he knows the price of gold. They say, okay, I'm buying minus 9 LMBA, maybe minus 5 LMBA, purity 24 karat, or need to be refined. This one will come to me. That's when I will know this is the right person, because they know what they have come to do and they know what they're doing and they pay for it and they process the documents, they pay taxes and they fly the product in peace. So this business is divided into 2 or 3, as you have seen. The genuine one has never had any problem. No noise, no nothing. And it is just easy, simple. He comes on the ground, his license, they have an office, he pays for the gold, it is processed and it is exported. But this one who comes and sits in the hotel, rotating around, just know he's come for the other type of gold trade, which is not the right one. So please, those who are handling and dealing with so-called investors, careful. Careful. For somebody to be an investor, he has to come and invest in the country properly, legally. He must have the credentials to deal. How can an investor fail to pay for 10 million to get a mineral dealer's license? How? And he comes to you and is complaining about millions of dollars. How can he fail to know where gold is sold from? Or how can he fail to know where the mining sites are? How can he fail to know where the Ministry of Geology is, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development is? I rest my case. Thank you very much.